We are going to play good news or bad news, healthcare edition. The way this is going to work is I'm going to put some medical phrases up on the screen, and you have to guess if your doctor is giving you good news or if they're giving you bad news. You may be wondering about my friend here. This is Goldie Gopher, the mascot for the University of Minnesota. Goldie is here to remind me that the questions we're using are taken from a study in the Journal of the American Medical Association, JAMA. It was a survey study of about 200-ish people that they actually conducted at the Minnesota State Fair. And if you want to check that study out, I'll link it in the description below. We're going to go for 5 rounds, and each question is going to get a little bit harder as we go, meaning fewer people from that survey study got the question right. And the last question is actually going to be one that only 21% of people accurately identified as either good news or bad news. All right, so let's get started. First round, your doctor says the cancer screening test came back and the results are negative. Is this good news or bad news? Yeah, you know this one. It's good news. 96% of people got the one right in the survey study, but that was just a warm-up. We're going to make them a little bit harder. Next round, your doctor says that the blood culture came back negative. Is this good news or bad news? This is also good news. A negative blood culture is a good thing. If the blood culture were positive, that would mean that some sort of pathogen, meaning some bacteria or fungus, was growing in the blood, which generally means that there's a serious infection happening that's spreading throughout the body, aka sepsis, which is a bad thing. So it is a good thing to have a negative blood culture. All right, we're going to keep making them harder. Next round. Your doctor says that we are halfway through chemotherapy treatment and your tumor is progressing. Is this good news or is it bad news? This is bad news. Only 80% of people knew that one. But if you watched my previous video about medical terms that are flipped around from what you normally think up there, you probably got that one right. If your tumor is progressing, that means it's growing, spreading, and often can mean that your cancer treatment is not working as well as we hoped, and may mean that we have to switch up our care plan. This would be a good point to ask for the extra support of a palliative care team as you figure out what you're going to do next. All right, next round, getting harder now. Your doctor says that the neuro exam is grossly intact. Is that a good thing or a bad thing to hear? That is a good thing to hear. Only 41% of people knew that, though. So a grossly intact neuro exam means that your cranial nerves, the nerves that control your face, eye, and tongue movements, they all seem to be working fine, and your arms and legs have normal strength and sensation, everything's symmetric. So this is a good thing to hear. A neuro exam that's not grossly intact may, among other possibilities, be a sign of a stroke. So it's definitely a good thing to have a grossly intact neuro exam. All right, last round. Let's see if I can stump you. The doctor says that the findings on the x-ray were quite impressive. Is this good news or bad news? This is bad news. Only 21% of people in the survey study knew this was a bad thing to hear. An impressive chest x-ray means that there is something abnormal going on. And a quite impressive chest x-ray usually means that something is wrong, and seriously wrong at that. Now, whether this is enough to get to a diagnosis and tell you exactly what's going on, it really depends on your individual situation. The impressive chest x-ray may be enough information for your doctor to give you a diagnosis and start treatment. And in other cases, it may set off a cascade of further testing before you can get to a diagnosis and a treatment plan. All right, thanks so much for playing. If you found this informative, I would love it if you hit that like button. And if you find videos like this helpful, stick around, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.